Now in our 6th year, this is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Hey, this is Alex. This is the Ramble. We go from now until midnight Eastern Daylight Time. Ladies and gentlemen, he's in Massachusetts now. He's right down the street from me, but so far away during the pandemic.
Yes.
Otherwise, you'd probably be down here visiting me at this point.
Absolutely.
You know.
Why not?
But anyway, that's Stephen Kravitz, and he's a comic, out of work comic, but so's every other comic in America.
Right.
By the way, I was watching. Have you watched this thing on Showtime on the Comedy Store?
No.
Yeah. Did you ever work with the Comedy Store?
Yes, I was a paid regular. 1985, I became a paid regular.
Oh wow. Okay. So
names up on the building.
Really, you then should watch this documentary because it's all about it's in its 3rd week now. I don't know how many weeks it's going to go.
Yeah, I know Mike Binder who did it.
Mm-hmm.
But I know I'm not in it, so I'm not going to watch it.
So you're not going to watch it. Fuck them.
Yeah, fuck that.
Them. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Hell.
The older I get, the more vain I become. I tell you that.
Well, you know, they say, oh, and there's a documentary on the blah, blah, blah. And I go, am I in it? No. Well, then why should I watch it?
That's right. Exactly. All I'm going to do is harbor a resentment if I watch it.
There's a documentary about the concentration camps. Am I in it? No. Well, then the hell with it. I'm not going to watch it.
Thank God you're not in it.
I had a friend who was in concentration camps. He was in, 11 concentration camps? You know, he made the whole tour of the concentration camps.
Right. Like I used to tour Canada. He toured the concentration camps.
And the most thing I said to him, I said, you know, I'm very impressed. He came to America and he became a very famous Broadway director, and he directed a couple of movies, and he was a drama teacher. I mean, he worked at the Actors Studio, was part of the Actors Studio. Was
really?
One of the people who ran the Actors Studio. He started the Actors Studio on the West Coast. The name Jack Garfine. And he was in the concentration camps. And I said, you know, you've done all this stuff in your life, and the only thing that I'm impressed by is that you met Mengele.
Not the guy you really want to meet.
Well, Mengele actually saved his life.
Why is that? He performed experiments on him?
No. He was seeing all these kids who were coming up to him, and he kind of lied about his age and said he was a year older than he was, because if he was a year younger, they'd send him off to the gas chamber.
Really?
And so he told him that he was 15, and Mengele said, "Oh, such a sweet boy," and pinched his cheeks and said, "Okay, go that way." And he sent him to a work detail.
Right.
And as he's going to the work detail, he says to the capo, the Jew who was running the group, he said, "I actually lied to that man, that nice man back there. I should go back and tell him the truth." And he said, "Just keep walking."
Right, just keep walking, kid.
Just keep walking. And I just said, I was really impressed by the fact he met Mengele.
And he lived to talk about it.
The fact that he was in 11 concentration camps and still was alive after it was all over.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
However, the survivor's guilt you must have after that much.
Oh, I'm sure.
You know, has got to be incredible. I mean, his mother died, his daughter died, his sister died, his father died. You know. Sure. And he saw them all in the concentration camp before they went off to the gas chambers, and he went the other direction. It's just some amazing stories. But anyway, so how did I get into that?
You talked about a friend of yours who met Mengele.
Yeah, yeah, but I mean, before that, how did I get into Jack?
Because we were talking about the Comedy Store documentary, and you asked me
Yeah.
if I was watching it, and
Oh,
I
I
said no
see.
because I'm not in it.
Yeah, and then I said I saw one on the concentration camps, and I said the same thing.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then I got into that. It's amazing how if you divert from what you're talking about, and then you lead to something else and something else and something else, eventually you have a hard time getting back to where you began.
Yes, yes, because you don't remember.
Especially when you're my age.
Oh, okay.
You know. But anyway, Stephen,
So
so
I tell
you
you, I'm going to buy a new car.
really
Yeah,
brand new car or used?
brand new, brand new.
Really? Where are
I'm
you
gonna
getting
buy
all
a
this?
Rav-
Where are you getting all this money from? I thought you weren't working.
I'm not working, but I have savings.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm going to definitely do a big dent in my savings, but that's what I was. Well,
Wait a
what are
minute.
you
Wait a minute.
saving it
Wait a
for?
minute. In your whole drug-fueled stupor,
Yes.
you were able to save money.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, no, no.
It's been recent that you've saved the money.
Yes, and also what happened was Screen Actors Guild. I put in for a pension, and they said it's not much, and I said I was disabled, and they said, "Can you prove it?" And I said yes, and they retroactive me back to 2003, so I got a big lump of money.
Oh, wow.
I paid my taxes on it, and I have a business manager handling the money, so I have to dip into it to buy the RAV4.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So-
Cool. I mean, I have a pension, about 900 a month or something with SAG.
Yeah, mine's like 960.
Really?
Yeah.
And you get it because you're disabled?
I get it. Well, I get it because I was in the union. I'm still in the union.
But how'd you get up to 960? I mean, I worked for years. Mine via AFTRA. Okay.
Yeah, yours is after, right?
Well, it's AFTRA, but then it got mixed into SAG, and now it's a SAG AFTRA pension.
Right.
Yeah, they screwed with our health insurance. It really screwed.
Oh, yeah, you had to make X amount of dollars a year to get health insurance.
And now you have to do more.
Well, now you can also buy into the union. When I got into the union, you had to be in a union film, and you had to have a speaking role.
Mm-hmm.
And Dirty Harry got me Clint Eastwood got me my SAG card.
Yeah.
I told you the story about me on location with Clinton stealing food.
Yeah, right. And he was really nice to you.
Yeah, he was very nice to me. Exceptionally nice.
Yeah, yeah. But the point is that all the years. I mean, I worked. I suddenly realized I did work a lot of after jobs. Mine comes to about 920, something like that, 918, something. So you did a couple of movies and look at your pension. You know?
Right.
Because SAG always had a better pension than AFTRA did.
SAG was the stronger of the two unions. AFTRA probably would have gone under if they had not merged.
AFTRA, in case people don't know what AFTRA is, that's the broadcast union.
Right,
American Federation of Television
Artists.
Right.
And it came down to what they filmed you on. If they filmed you on like video, it was considered AFTRA. If it filmed you on film, then it was Screen Actors Guild.
Yeah. But anyway, they combined, the two unions combined, and they had this great thing for senior performers, where I never qualified for the regular insurance because I was not working. In most cases, I wasn't working a lot of AFTRA jobs in later years because the union wasn't as aggressive. Okay.
No.
And so I didn't have enough, but then I got this thing that said you can get senior performer benefits, and for $2,000 a year, Marjorie and I got our health, our what we call supplemental insurance.
Right. Because Medicare only pays 80%.
We got full prescription.
Really?
Well, I mean, we had to pay a certain amount, but it was much cheaper than it had been. Okay. And also, what was the other thing? Dental, $2,500 a year dental.
Really?
Yeah, it was terrific. And then all of a sudden, in August, they said, Well, we're having troubles with the whole thing, and so all you senior performers are going to have to go over and go to this company called Via Benefits. They'll help you get insurance using your Medicare. You know,
Didn't work out.
well, no, I mean I literally could go to any insurance salesman for this. I don't have to go to this Via Benefits.
Right, right.
So really what they did is they took all the senior performers and they threw them to the dogs, literally, you know. And I saw a thing with them and they said, well, it was either this, we had to save the union. And I'm thinking, yeah, but you didn't have to save your performers, because some people are going to die as a result of this, because they could afford that $2,000 a year. But now, for instance, between my wife and I, it'll go up to about $8,000-9,000 a year.
Wow.
You know, and her company is paying for it for us, that she works for. But when they're gone, we're still going to have to pay for it. But I think about those performers. There's a performer by the name of Norman Lloyd. Do you know who he is?
No, I don't.
He is the oldest member of SAG.
Really?
Yeah, he's the oldest member of SAG. He was the guy in Saboteur by Hitchcock who fell off the Statue of Liberty.
Okay.
Okay? That's Norman Lloyd. Norman Lloyd is 105 years old, I believe.
Wow.
In order to get benefits, you have to make so much money every year.
That's correct.
Okay?
That's right.
Before, if you got pension, that pension went towards what you earned.
Right.
Under the new plan, it doesn't go to what you earn. So if you're taking your pension, you can't use it against what you should be paying in order to get their benefits.
Right.
So consequently, Norman Lloyd can't get insurance.
106, they can't get insurance.
105, he can't get it. Oh, he can get it. He can pay for it, but it's going to cost him 4 times what he was paying.
Right.
You know.
No, that's the bad side of a union for sure.
Well, that union has gone in the dumper. You know. Here's what I hate. See, and I'm sure you hate it too. I hate people using the COVID crisis as an excuse for their incompetence. And in this case, they're using the COVID. Oh, well, COVID came along, you know, we can't afford this, and we have to. No, figure out a way to not screw your members, okay? Maybe.
Well, that's what the union's supposed to do, is watch out, protect its members.
You want to save money? Don't put out that stupid magazine you put out every month. Right,
that nobody reads.
That nobody reads, and only has pictures of executives in the union shaking hands with other executives in the union.
Right.
Here's me with Clint Eastwood. Hey.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, it's sad. It's really sad, and so I don't know how you're affected by that. Do you have insurance through the union?
No.
So how do you take care of your medical insurance?
Well, right now I have Medicare and Medicaid, and as soon as I get some Massachusetts ID, I'll apply for Mass Health.
Mass Health. Now that's the one that was the precursor to Obamacare.
Right.
And it's supposedly pretty good.
Supposedly it's great.
Yeah.
You know, if I qualify.
Do you qualify just by living there now, or do you have to live there for a certain amount of time?
No, by living here, and you have to have X amount of dollars, less than X amount of dollars. I think you have to have less than $2,000 in your bank account.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
And I have more than that.
Oh. Well, send some to me.
All right.
Yeah.
Don't hold your breath, but go wait by the mailbox.
Fiscally, you're doing okay.
Yes.
That's great. Gee,
Which isn't bad, because, you know, I took a couple of decades off in my, like you put it, my drug-induced stupor.
Yeah. But apparently it had a financial advantage.
Yes.
So everybody who's listening to this right now, here's your hint. Go out, get yourself a good drug habit.
Oh, a superior drug habit.
Superior.
Don't mess with the Ricky Donkey drug.
In fact, he was a professional at it. Okay.
That's right. That's correct.
Yeah,
Don't do this. I'm a professional.
Actor first, second, heroin addict first.
Yes.
What do you...
First and foremost, I had an opioid base. You know?
Isn't it fun? Isn't it fun we can laugh about this now?
Oh yeah. If I, the other day I smoked a cigarette and I got high off it.
Did you really?
I really got a buzz off one cigarette.
Son of a bitch. Hey, listen, we've run out of time again.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness. It's always great talking to you. And I can hardly wait till I can see you again, because you're so close yet so far because of COVID.
Yeah, one of these days when the COVID ends, we'll have a meal together.
You'll come down here. I got a room for you and everything, and we can hang, and I would love to see you.
Yeah, me too. Me too, you.
Good old friend.
That's a great sweatshirt.
Oh, this was they did this in every year they had a I can't remember what the organization was, but they held they raised money for the organization, and Yoko gave them the rights to do stuff based on John Lennon, because
right.
So I have quite a few. I have another John Lennon
really
sweatshirt. Yeah.
Hanukkah's coming up.
Huh?
Nothing. I just said Hanukkah's around the corner.
And what's that supposed to mean?
Well, that's a sweatshirt like that would make a lovely gift.
Ladies and gentlemen, Stephen Kravitz. Thank you, Stephen.
Thank you.
Bye.
Now in our 6th year, this is GabNet, the Great American Broadcast Network. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Ah, yes. Thank you very much, Stephen Kravitz, starting off our show tonight. A lot of those things were recorded several weeks ago, but because so many things have happened in the meantime, I haven't had a chance to play them. So if it seemed a little out of date, like a reference to Hanukkah coming and things like that, that's the reason why. So anyway, welcome to our fine program. Nothing much has changed since yesterday, so yeah, oh boy. What a clusterfuck, huh? Yes, absolutely. Anyway, let me see here. I got to go to our Zoom panel. Let me admit them all here. Let me see here. I go admit all, and then I go here like that, and there they are. Okay, there's Charlie Wallace.
That's me.
And yes, and there is Jeff Stein, and I would imagine a few more people will be calling any moment now. Wow. Nothing much has happened in the last 24 hours.
Nope, still in limbo.
But the last couple hours, things have started to change. Who would have thunk that Georgia would be in play?
Yep.
It is now somewhere around 1,700 vote difference in Georgia.
Yep.
And there's still something like 47,000 ballots to be counted.
Yeah.
I think Biden's got Georgia, is what I think. Okay?
Yep.
And
that'll give him over 290.
No. Because I don't know if he's going to get Arizona or not. Did
that close up a little?
Well, yeah, it's close. That's closing up. We don't know what's going to happen in Arizona. We don't know what's going to happen in Nevada. But I'll tell you that if he gets Georgia, he's one vote away from 270, and it looks like he's going to get Pennsylvania too.
Yep.
At this point, Trump better start packing. I don't think there's a way. He's got. What did I see? Do I have it here? There was a statistic that was kind of interesting, in that he had Biden has something like 15 ways he could win this, and Trump only has one.
Yep. Trump's got to sweep the board.
Yeah, Trump's got to sweep the board.
Come on.
So I would say Biden's going to win it, but boy, it's going to be a squeaker. Isn't this driving you nuts, Robert?
No.
No?
No. Very little drives me nuts.
Okay, but you're a betting man, right?
Well, okay.
Well, I mean, you kind
I
of.
don't consider it. I've never considered it that because the way I play, it's almost not gambling.
It's methodical wagering.
If you
Yes.
make money,
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
it's a salary.
Yes.
And so, as a betting man, which I think we could call you,
Okay.
where would you put your bets on this one?
Oh, it's not even close.
Really?
I don't think you could get somebody to take Trump right now.
Oh, really?
No, I
Yeah.
really don't.
Except for
The
Trump.
only way,
Yeah, not even Trump.
Well, apparently not for the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yes, Brian.
the only way Trump can hit 270 is if he loses 50 pounds.
Yeah, that's right.
I stole that one, but that was a good one.
Yeah. You know, I mean, but I just want it to be over.
Over. Exactly.
Now, how do you figure that he lost? Okay, and by the way, he is going to lose by more than anybody has ever lost in the history of the United States in the popular vote. Do you
Yeah.
know that Biden is over 4 million?
Yeah.
Now, how?
And it'll be more when all is
It'll be
said
more.
and done.
Yeah, all the votes in California haven't come in yet.
That's right.
California, 75% only.
New
Last I
York.
said.
Right.
New York as well, because they get put up as winners for the Democrats so early that they're under no obligation to be in a rush to do the actual count.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So while we're on the air tonight, we may actually see the vote for Georgia come in
Flip.
and flip to Biden.
Yep.
It's like within 1,700, and I think they have 47,000 votes. I heard left in Georgia.
Yeah.
You know, so let's say a lot of those go to Trump. He still doesn't have that advantage.
No.
You know? And they say that those votes are Democratic votes.
Yeah, a lot of them from Atlanta. Yeah.
And
mail-in,
in
right?
Pennsylvania, Philadelphia is one of the main places still to
Yep.
be really counted, and that's going to come in Democratic. And up around Scranton, is it?
Yeah.
That where he was born, that's going to come
Yeah.
in for him. So it looks like, and there, let's see here, I got it here. In Pennsylvania, he's how many votes ahead is Trump? It's 3,255,000.
About 26 grand.
About 26,000, and there are like 500,000 votes still left to
Yeah.
be counted, and they're all starting to come in about 80% Biden. So
And
Trump-
they haven't begun to count the Antifa vote either.
yeah, right.
And Trump's complaining like these miraculous votes just miraculously
Yeah.
come in.
Yeah.
But they're all mail-in, and he knows that the Democrats were going mail it in, so you don't have
Yeah.
to deal with all that stuff. So he knows.
Well,
that
he went around telling his people, don't mail them in, go down and
Exactly.
Yeah,
vote.
so they
Yeah.
did.
So that the initial vote, the initial surge was going to be for Trump. But the
Exactly.
people who mailed it in were the Democrats who went, I ain't doing what Trump says to do. You know, that's not safe. And they mailed them in.
And the Republican legislature in Pennsylvania, for one state, there were others, passed
Yeah.
laws that said they couldn't count the mail-in vote until the election was completed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that was purposely to create this illusion that Trump on election night had
Yeah.
won.
Well, you know what happened is this was something, I don't know why I got so worried, you know, the first night, because we were all told, don't pay attention to that
Yeah.
first
Yep.
number.
Yep.
And the reason why we usually pay attention to that first number is for, let me turn my mic a little bit, is because we're used to it being that way. Because
Yeah.
we haven't had, what happened this year, which is different than any other year. How is this year different than any other year? It's like the beginning of Passover. Anyway, is that we had COVID.
Yeah.
And COVID changed the way we voted. A lot of early voting, You know, a lot of states set up early voting so people could go to the polls early. It got to the point where really election day was an aftermath. You know, was a second notion.
More people early voted than voted on election day.
Well, yes, I think you're right about that. But the fact is, it's just the nature of how we count these things and how we look at them are different. But in the old days, when I was growing up as a kid and you sat there on election night, you waited for the numbers to come in, and when you were bleary-eyed by about 1 o'clock in the morning, somebody was declared the winner.
Yeah.
But there was no COVID. There was no voting in advance. I mean, you had to vote on the day of the election, you know. So all that has changed. Trump's not used to that. Trump's used to the way I grew up, okay? And he's going, oh, I want to know what the winner is the night of the election. Well, you know, you might have an idea who the winner is, but nothing's official till several weeks later when all the states ratify it, you know. So, I mean, what I'm saying is that because of COVID, the way we're electing people now has changed. And this will be the change, okay? This will be the way it will be from here on in. I don't think we're ever going back to some other way of doing it. Even if COVID's out of the way, gone, goodbye, see you later, you know? Speaking of COVID, remember what he said after Election Day, you're not going to hear about COVID ever again.
Yeah.
Well, today it went up to 120,000 cases.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's on the news. You know.
We're talking about it.
Yep. Here in New York, we had 24 deaths. And we're up to about 1.8% of the tests coming back positive.
Yep.
So we're, you know, I mean, if this keeps going on, I'm going to call my doctor and not have that operation. I'm not going into a hospital to have something done. You know?
Yeah.
Texas is pulling away ahead of California in infections too.
Really?
Now.
Well, I mean, come on, you know, people, stop it, will you? Just wear that goddamn mask. That's all you've got to do. It's simple. It's easy. It's no biggie.
They won't do it in Texas.
Well, you know, I lived in Texas for many years. I love Texas, by the way. Of all the places I lived besides New York, Houston was my favorite. I loved Houston. But they're dumb down there. You know.
There goes that audience.
Well, there goes that audience.
Yeah, right. A one, half.
Well, no, I just Jack Bishop isn't going to be listening to me anymore. And Scott just turned off his computer. You know, no, I mean, they'd even agree with me. You know, I don't know if the intelligence level of the average American is that great. Now, I don't want to be snotty about this, but I'm sorry. If there's anything I can't stand, it's stupid people, and everywhere I go, there are people I can't stand. All right, so you know, that's that. Hello, Tony.
I gotta tell you.
What?
You know, Alex, you hit something in the head, and I got to tell you something.
What?
I just heard you before about Trump.
Yeah.
You know, I'm thinking when he came out, Trump planned this whole thing. He knew, meaning like the other night, he knew to come out at 4. He knew what he was doing. They're setting the wheels in motion. I think everybody thinks he's the village idiot. He wants the civil unrest. Everything to me, I think, is planned with him.
Well, he certainly has been inspiring it. Okay. This is the most irresponsible president we've ever had when it came to when it's come to public safety. He you know, when he won't tell the what is it, the Proud Boys or whatever the name of that group was.
Yeah, the Proud Boys.
When he said, "Stand down but stand by."
What the hell? That means like when
You
I'll
know,
give you
come
the code
on.
word that ready to jump in.
Oh,
He said
listen.
the people who took that bus, those intimidating that bus, he said they were good patriots.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Tried to run Biden's bus off the road. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Earlier tonight, I went down the block to get my mother a slice of pizza.
by the way, 26,000
20.
in Pennsylvania. Yeah.
And when I went into the pizzeria quick with my mask on, there was an older kid that I went to high school with. He was like 2 years older than my sister's age. He was a fucking idiot his whole life. Stupid.
Well,
Anyway,
I guess we know which way he's going on this story.
Yeah, exactly. So you know what he tells me? Hey, Tony, how's your sister? She's still teaching? I says, yeah, she's still teaching. I says, yeah. And he goes, so what do you think of the conspiracy? You know what? They were getting the votes. I'm like, Joe, you really believe that? He says, well, yeah. I says, okay, I got to go. Just as dumb as he was when he was in school. Alex, I'm telling you, you said it. There were idiots out there.
Yes.
You know what I think is terrible about this? You know, we have somebody who calls this show Kevin, who is a poll worker. And these people work very hard. And they do it for very little money. It's not like they're doing it for the money. They're doing it because they enjoy being part of the process. To say the kinds of things Trump has been saying besmirches these people who are just, I saw a picture of them. Somebody mentioned they're standing on hard floors in a drab room, punching out these things and shoving them in the machines and adding them up and doing all this. Why? To make a buck? No.
But I'm going to tell you something,
No,
Alex. My
for
mom's
us.
friend that. But there's a lady down the block who watches my mom for us, Alex, Patty. She's an older woman. She worked the school. She needs the money, right?
Yeah.
And it's almost like it's a disgrace to her. When I went to vote, how's your mom? This and that. She's doing good, Patty. You know, it's almost like you're making fun of these people who actually need the money.
Yeah.
He's a fucking scumbag, Alex. Now he can drop dead now, Trump. I don't care.
Yeah, well,
He's no fucking good.
well,
He's no-
you know, I want him I want him to drop dead after he's no longer president because I don't want to get Pence. You know,
Pence
I'll
looks
tell
like
you though. I'll tell you, we are getting a textbook treatment here, a textbook case of how to be a sore loser. You know. I mean, right, Robert? I mean, this is the sorest loser. Today, you know what he said today?
What did he say?
He said, "I am not going to concede,
What a fucking jerk.
Yeah.
no matter what Biden does. If he says he's won the thing and he thanks everybody. I don't care. I'm not conceding."
He's got
Today he kept saying, like, in Georgia we won, and then they started whittling at the lead. I'm like, you didn't win.
We
He
didn't
said-
win. The game was
Really?
over.
I won, and then they kept taking more votes. I'm like, what the hell? You didn't win.
I won the baseball game except for those 6 home runs they got.
Yeah,
Yeah, in the
And
eighth inning,
the
right?
seventh
Yeah.
and eighth innings, yeah.
right. And
You don't count that, yeah.
Yeah.
and by the way, that game was fixed.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it was fixed. The
No,
lady who's making $100 a day in a ham sandwich is really looking to tilt it her way just so
Yeah.
you
Well,
can get a
I
couple
mean,
of bucks.
you know, he said what did
great.
he say tonight? He said something to the effect of all the ballots that were taken were all the legitimate ballots.
Yeah.
I won, but if you
Yeah.
count the illegitimate ballots, I lost. Well, now wait a minute. Hold on a second. What's an illegitimate ballot? You know,
Illegal.
you know,
And that's he wanted people to say that. He said, I want people to say they're going to count the rest of the illegal ballots.
Yeah.
The legal ballots.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
the thing is, he went to
All legal.
he went to court in almost every state so far that he wanted to stop the counting, and judges have told him, "Get out of here." You know, we're not even going to
got no
consider
case.
your case. You know, because they were saying, "Oh well, because there's a fraud." I said, "Well, what? How is it? Show us some proof there was fraud." Well, we don't have any. Well, then we're sorry. You know.
But Rudy said it's true.
Well, if Rudy said it's true, it's got to be true. You know.
Is he still playing with himself?
Oh yeah.
Alex, you were on a TV show. Would you take a wire off laying on your back and ask him for a phone number?
Well, to begin with, if you're removing a wire, it's not in your pants.
Yeah.
I was going to say, what would it be doing? in his
I
pants?
mean, they usually clip it to your belt in the back.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, you have to know to do something, by the way, because sometimes they put these things on you, and then they keep them on you for the rest of the day as long as you're shooting something.
Hmm.
So if you go to the bathroom, you have to turn the switch off.
Even my
You
mother, I
can't
made her
remember
watch
to.
it.
You got to remember to turn the switch off. Otherwise, you're gonna,
So they never wrap them around your penis. Never wrap them around.
Right.
My
They
mother
trying to
said
get
he's
it off.
playing with himself. I was watching Bart. I showed her the clip. She's, why is he laying on the bed? I said, well, that's America's mayor, Ma.
Yeah, he was tired.
She even
He
knows.
was
She knows
tired.
nothing about what's going
He
on.
was tired,
She
and then
knows that something's
what did he
going
say he
on.
was doing? He was tucking in his shirt.
Yeah.
Well,
Put his
how
hand
the
down.
how the hell did it come out? I mean,
With his
but
hand
it was amazing that he said that he was trying to adjust his microphone or whatever. I'm sorry, that man is
These vote counters in Philadelphia that they keep showing are all wearing these goddamn road construction things, and I'm wondering, like, when they go on a break, are they building a bridge?
Yeah, I
outside?
noticed that they're wearing. You know what I think that is. I think it is just for safety.
Yeah, because
that-
all the
it-
dust and junk that comes out of the machine.
No, but also that you don't bump into somebody.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that could well be the reason. But yeah, if you look at they have cameras in all these counting rooms just so they can be very transparent about it, right? So nobody can say, hey, they're throwing them in garbage cans and whatever. Although I turned on
You saw
Fox tonight
Oh,
to
you watched it?
Hannity.
Oh,
And he had
wait.
people on who said, yeah, I took ballots and dumped them in the garbage.
Oh.
And
And how do you know that
Lock 'em
was
up.
for
Yeah.
Biden
Yeah.
being thrown in the garbage?
Well, exactly. I mean, that's proof positive. We got to call off the whole election because somebody threw 20 ballots in a garbage can.
Can't that person get in trouble? for
Of
admitting
course they can.
that? Yeah, so he's stupid.
One of them had his voice distorted. One of them
Yeah,
had his,
deep throat.
but I'm
Come
going,
on.
come on,
believe that.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Trump is not getting robbed of this. The person that robbed him of his reelection was himself, okay? Because he didn't react to human need. He didn't care what was going on. It's sad. It's just sad.
See,
But-
I'll defend Trump, though. There is a history. There's a precedent with him getting robbed. Apparently, he was robbed of about 750,000 inauguration attendees.
Yeah,
Yes, absolutely. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you that in Georgia, you know what the percentages are? 49.4% to 49.4%.
it's going to be a runoff. I love it.
Well, it's not going. This is not going to be a runoff. I think you're going to see Biden go past him by about maybe 4,000.
Oh, I like that. It's gonna wait
Enough
for it.
that it doesn't have to be a recount.
We want him to slit his wrist slowly,
Yeah.
just a little bit at a time. Oh, you missed it. You got time. Don't worry. Arizona will come and you can finish it off.
Go on. Do it.
Trump's trying to make his people mad by implying that the Democrats are still letting people come in and vote.
Yeah.
But they're not. These are all votes that were in by 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. or whatever it was on Tuesday. These were already votes that were in. They just haven't been counted yet.
Right.
Yeah, well, these are votes that they had to be there by a certain time.
Yeah.
And then they can count them for days, and they should be allowed to because there are so many votes that to do that takes some work and time and effort and so on, and we want it to be accurate.
Yeah,
And-
the Democrats had money in the House bill in May that would have given hundreds of millions of dollars to the states to upgrade their counting equipment so they could count faster, and the Republicans refused to pass it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And oh, by the way, what's not getting reported enough are the votes that are still sitting in mail facilities because the U.S. mail was told to slow down.
The joy ought to go to prison.
In Philadelphia alone, there are tens of thousands that never got off the floor. And that can be proven. That can be shown.
I wonder if Dr. Fauci under Biden is going to become Surgeon General.
That would be nice.
that'd be a nice gift for all the suffering that he had to go through with Trump. The thing about Fauci, people go, well, he didn't exactly go against Trump. And I said, no, he is a doctor. He's a scientist. He wanted to get things through and things to be done properly. And he felt probably that by going after Trump and all of this, or embarrassing Trump, he wasn't going to get what was needed.
Yep.
And I have nothing but the greatest amount of respect for Fauci. And now that he doesn't seem to be giving a shit anymore,
Well, Trump says he's going to fire him.
Yeah. Well, he'll probably fire him during the 90-day period between now and the inauguration.
Yeah, who's he gonna can? I bet you he starts firing people like mad.
Well, no, he shouldn't fire anybody. I mean, it's ridiculous.
But they can collect unemployment.
You're on your way out the door, but he'll do it just out of spite.
Yeah, how do you think he fires him, Alex? I mean, I've gotten fired from my supermarket job when I was a kid. I kind of was happy though. But do you think it's mad when they get fired? Well,
this is a little different than you getting fired from your supermarket. $3 an hour
and 150 grand. But Alex, if you get fired from Trump, you think they're happy on the way out? It's almost like a badge of honor. Thank God he fired me. I don't know how he would get out of here.
I wonder how many people give him the finger on their way out the door.
Yeah.
How many books are going to be written after this?
Jeez. Oh well.
You think he says, "Can you give me a good? Can you give me what do they say on my resume? That when they call up your past employer,
reference.
Good reference.
Good reference. Good reference.
Yeah.
Don't you think Biden's going to be talking to him right away? I mean, Biden, like I think between now, if he does get elected, that he's going to start taking action right away.
Well, I think
Fauci would probably be the first person he starts consulting and saying, who do we need on this team to get to start taking care of everything.
I'm sure he will do that. But I'm wondering how much damage Trump can do in the 90 days. Can he still sign executive orders and do all of that?
Do you really think he wants to?
President.
What?
Do you really think he wants to? I personally think at that point, he kind of pulls the plug on it and just worries about himself. Like he'll maybe give away contracts to people who'll kick back to him, things like that. But as far as affecting policy, he wouldn't know a policy if it bit him on the ass for 4 years. So now it's not like he's going to come up with health care.
Right.
Between now and January.
No, but he could do a lot to hold back people from collecting on their health.
Well, it would be very nice, just very nice of him to suddenly tell us what his health care plan was.
Yeah.
Don't get sick.
Yeah, I won't hold my breath on that.
I hope he takes his ball and goes home.
Well, I don't think he's going to go nicely. Okay,
no,
here are a couple of things that outgoing presidents do for the incoming presidents. To begin with, they have a meeting with them, and they tell them all the stuff they feel they should know and be aware of and be ready for. I don't think he's going to hold that meeting with Biden. Biden, I'm sure, would be willing to sit there and listen, but he's not going to hold it with Biden.
Yeah.
The second thing that every president has done is they write a note to the incoming president, and they put it in the desk in the Oval Office. So that when he goes in there and he opens up the desk, there's the letter and he can read it. And usually it's something like, enjoy the job, hope you're successful at it, whatever. Obama wrote one for Trump, believe it or not. He's not going to write one of those letters, do you think?
No.
I mean,
he doesn't even know how to write a letter.
The big print, the big print he has.
That scroll, that echocardiogram that he calls a signature.
Yeah.
Crayons.
But I mean, I don't think he's going to do that. I don't think that. For instance, they always, when there's a previous president, they draw a portrait of him and they put it up.
Yes,
and then they invite the former president to come in and see it. When Obama's was put up in the White House, do you think they held an unveiling and had Obama there? Nope. So
Trump refused.
He did?
Yeah.
Yes.
Trump refused.
I never knew that. Oh my God!
There are little niceties you do for other people, and it's just a matter of form It's the nice thing to do. Well,
Have you
One of the
guys
things
noticed?
that you ought to know, Tony,
What's that?
is that when the president becomes the ex-president, okay, after he leaves, he gets a special car that he can drive in all the time, and it's one of those safety cars,
yeah.
so that if you
Oh, wow.
try to shoot him, you're not going to kill him.
Yeah.
So I'm just
You mean-
ordering you, don't
Oh.
waste your
Don't waste your ammunition.
right on that
Yes,
car.
I was
Robert.
joking the other night.
Right,
I'd rather see him go
yeah.
on his own volition.
Robert wanted to say something. Yes, Robert.
I was just going to ask you guys: have you noticed the past few days that the reporters on CNN, for example, have gotten a lot snarkier about Trump?
Oh, yeah.
Like I noticed tonight, after he gave that spiel, Trump, the CNN guys were getting vicious about it.
Really?
Jim Acosta was at the White House and he was awfully snarky. And I thought to myself, they really are enjoying the fact that, look, I don't have to kowtow to this son of a bitch anymore. One guy, I think it was Acosta, said Trump, who's historically had a weak relationship with the truth, which I thought was, a little bit snotty, but it was good,
Mhm.
Now,
Yeah.
2 years ago, he's not in a position to say that because, he wants to keep his credentials.
Right. And you want to have some kind of a
Sure.
relationship
Sure.
with the White House, while all along he's railing against you while you're sitting in the
Yeah.
audience going, and your people and CNN, the fake news and blah, 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 blah. But tonight he went on to give his little speech about, I'm being robbed and here's how how illegally they are trying to steal the vote from me. And MSNBC, about 2 minutes into it, just pulled it. They
cut
said,
it.
we're cutting this and we're not going to run it because he's just lying.
Yeah, he's not telling the
He's
truth.
not telling the truth. He's not telling the facts. We were looking for something newsworthy here, and all he's doing is spreading more untruths. And if we hear him start telling the truth, we'll go back to him. And they never did go back to him.
No, I know.
You had to go over to Fox to see the rest of that little speech. But I mean, it's gotten to the point now where Twitter starts flagging his posts and saying this is not true here, and then they say here's a link to something that will show you what the truth is. They see how bad it is when somebody is spreading lies and the kind of distortions that he's doing, causing problems and people to do things and so on and so forth, and they feel the responsibility to do this. It's the only president we've ever done this for. I mean, president gives a speech, usually run it from beginning to end.
Yep.
But with Trump, it's just, and it goes on forever and ever, He leans to one side and then he reads the teleprompter and then he ad-libs for a little while and then he turns the other way and leans. And
Same stupid stories.
Yeah, I mean, it's just been, I'll be so glad when it's over. I just hope, we get some kind of resolution to this. We should probably have a clear vision within the next 12 hours of where this is going. If he gets Georgia, he's one vote away from having the 270.
Yeah, it'll be at least a tie.
And all he has to do is he could get Arizona, he could get Nevada. It looks like he probably is going to get Pennsylvania. So I mean, there are a lot of ways that he can become president by tomorrow afternoon. Okay.
We can't afford a tie.
No, we can't afford a
We
tie.
lose in the tie.
Huh?
He goes to the-
We lose if it ties.
Why do we lose?
Because it goes to the House.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not one vote per representative. It's one vote per state.
Yeah, and more
And the-
states have the majority Republican reps.
Oh, is it-
26 states have a majority of Republicans in their group.
Oh boy.
So we would lose in the House of Representatives.
This won't be a tie.
No,
Uh,
there's one way, but it's unlikely.
well, Trump at this point with what, 203? What does he have? 203 votes?
13.
213. He's going to have to run the board in
Yeah,
order
he's
to
gonna
win.
them all.
Yeah, he's going to have to win them all. Biden only has to win 2.
Yeah, yes, one,
Top.
any two.
Or one.
Well, no,
No.
well, 1. If he
Oh,
if
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
he gets
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania, it's all over.
It's all over.
Yeah. And it looks like he's going to have Pennsylvania. It looks like he's going to get Georgia. It could well be that he's going to exceed 270. He's going to get over 300 by the time he's finished.
Yep.
So, we'll wait and see. But I again, I said this last night. I said it the night before. I could be very happy that if Biden wins, but I still don't feel good about it. And what I don't feel good about is that Trump did that well.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it. Here's a popular vote: almost 74 million for Biden, and about 6.5 million, 69, almost 69.5 million votes for Trump. That means 69,645, 113 people voted for Trump.
That's a lot.
That's scary, because there are a lot of things you got to be to vote for Trump. You've
Do you
got
think they're they're Trump cults? They're not the Republicans.
well,
I mean, a lot of those people are just like
well-
gung ho and oh yeah, Trump, but they don't even understand the
but
Republican.
we're talking 69 million people who voted for Trump. So if they voted for Trump, let's face it, they're voting for racism.
Yeah.
They're
They're voting for no health care.
Yeah. But the part that bothers me the most is they don't really believe Black Lives Matter. Yes, Robert.
This morning I happened to flip on C-SPAN, and they were doing the show where they alternate taking calls from Trump supporters and then Biden supporters and back and forth. And a guy came on from Indiana. I think he said he was a farmer, and he said he supported Trump. And then he went on to explain why, and it opened my eyes a little bit. He said, I'm a farmer, I'm a hunter, I'm a fisherman, I own a pickup truck. He said, the Democratic Party has come to represent the big cities, and they want to change the way we live here. And all we want is to just live the way we live. And it struck me, there may be something to that we as the left-leaning people have missed. We used to be far more the party of labor, blue-collar workers, but at some point the message shifted and we became the left and right coast supporters, and the middle of America started to feel disenfranchised from our party. That guy that was on C-SPAN didn't sound like he was enamored with Trump at all. It sounded more like he was afraid that his lifestyle was going to be swallowed up by big city elites and Wall Street.
Well, yeah, but the thing I was thinking today, Robert, about Biden was, and why I was so proud of him, is that he seemed to be embracing the ideals of the old Democratic Party, being the party of labor. He became really the labor advocate. He became the average guy. He became he didn't seem like he was the big. Who was the big Madison Avenue or Park Avenue candidate?
Hillary.
Donald Trump.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Donald Trump. Who's more Park Avenue? So I mean, that's what I don't get, is how all these people, all those people should really love Joe Biden.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure Biden sold that message as effectively as he could have.
Well,
Jeff?
I think he changed it. as compared to the beginning, which might be, 5 months ago, as compared to what he did for the last month or so. And what he did was he really, at the beginning, talked about union guys, okay? And I don't know, somebody maybe got to talk to him and say, hey, guess what? There are very few union guys anymore. And quite frankly, the market, the so-called people that you're talking about in the city, they're not factory people. They're not union people. They're people who are well educated, maybe, in a variety of things.
But I think what I was trying to say is that he was, however, embracing the working man. He seemed like the working man's candidate. And
But Alex, I don't think, if you pay close attention looking back, I don't think Trump ran against Biden. I think Trump ran against AOC, Nancy Pelosi, Bernie Sanders.
Yep.
And what he did was he controlled the message by making it about a factor in the Democratic Party that had little or nothing to do with Biden. Biden is a moderate.
He kept calling Biden a socialist.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I'm going to tell you a lot of
and
things.
as a socialist, that bothered me. I mean, Biden is not a socialist.
Right.
Not even close.
But you know what's interesting I find out of this too, Robert, and even Alex too, is I was thinking about it with my older brother. I says, thank God we beat this guy. But I'm going to tell you something. I never thought he'd be this hard to beat. That's what scares me.
Well, that
he had a master plan in that back room.
This thing should have been settled Tuesday night,
Alex,
around 9 o'clock.
Here's the question: what I'm worried about.
Yeah.
Will whoever runs again in 4 years? Don't be surprised you haven't heard the last of Trump. He may not run again.
He may try again.
Sure.
He could try again.
He might be able to get somebody elected because there's 70 million people who vote for him now.
He might try, but after, you got to remember, this is a guy who didn't get a second term. Okay.
He's a failure, yeah.
So he's got loser breath. And the Republicans are going to say, once he leaves, they're going to go and find their next standard bearer.
Remember Grover Cleveland, though.
What about Grover? Oh, because he came back a second time.
He wanted 4 years, then he lost, and then he won again.
Yeah, but he wasn't the asshole Trump is.
Right.
Well,
Plus, Trump.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Tony. Trump lost.
Okay, good. You go.
I'm sorry again, Tony. Trump lost this time, and he damn near lost last time. And even though he didn't lose, he lost the popular vote big time. Mm-hmm. So if you're the Republican Party, I think you've got to look at him and say, that's a shaky proposition.
Yeah.
Second of all, do we really want to put up with his shit for another 4 years? I think the Republican Party right now sees this as like a time of a vacuum. And you're going to see a lot of different people in the Republican Party surge forward to try to grab hold of the leadership. I think like Nikki Haley, I think Tom Cotton. I think a lot of people see this as an opportunity to kind of reshift the focus of the Republican Party. And you're going to hear them say that they're going to go back to Republican values, balancing the budget, small government. Mm-hmm. None of these things that you heard during 4 years.
By the way, what happened to Nikki Haley? Is she still the UN ambassador?
No, she left the job, I believe.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, but who's our UN ambassador now? Am I stupid?
That's a good question.
Or do people go through that administration so fast that you can't catch the name?
Do we still belong to the UN?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, he may have left it blank.
Yeah, I mean, it's really, it's weird that I don't know who the UN ambassador is, and I usually always, you always knew who the UN ambassador was.
Yeah.
Alex, here's a question I ask you. Do you think, because he blames China, do you think he's going to actually do a Freudian slip on one of his speeches and say the Chinks gave it to me and cost me the election. I'm waiting for it on the edge of my couch. I'm just waiting for it to slip out.
Yeah.
He's going to say it. He's going to say it. He didn't say it.
He didn't say it. Yeah.
Kelly
Hey,
Craft.
Kevin.
Kelly Craft.
Kelly
Oh,
Craft.
okay. I was gonna look it up.
Kelly
Yeah.
Craft. I never
Yeah.
heard of her. Never heard of her.
Whoever that is.
Yeah. See?
Is that even a male or a female?
I don't know. So anyway, Kevin, how do you feel about the fact that poll workers are stealing the election?
I don't twit, but I actually got on the real Donald Trump and I twitted to him, "You asshole. Thank you for disparaging me. And I appreciate you." I forgot what I said, but I basically told him, "Thanks for disparaging me and all the Americans that strive to make an honest and clean election. We work hours and hours," and I ran out of words.
Yeah. Yeah. My question is, I mean,
In caps.
how did you feel when you first heard him go after the poll people as cheating and robbing him of the election? And
I was pissed.
because let me ask you this question: you do it every 4 years for the money, right?
Every two.
Every 2 years for the money, right?
Vacation for 3
Yeah. All $75 for 12 hours.
You do it because you want to do it, right? You want to
That's
be
right.
as a citizen, you want to do your part. And to besmirch those people with just such a broad stroke is horrible. you
I
know?
look at all those people behind doing all the counting right now, and I feel their pain, man. They're out there busting their ass just to sort paper and run it through a damn machine to make sure it's right. And he's sitting up there talking shit about them. That's bullshit.
Yeah,
Absolute bullshit.
terrible.
Well, he's the guy that called our service members suckers and losers.
Yeah, and then you see these memes. I saw a meme just before I came on here. You know, the guy putting the paper up on the wall in Detroit, and they're going, "Oh, look, they're not hiding anything. They need to put paper up on the walls." I go, "That's because the people on the other side of the window are sitting there sorting papers, while other people on the other side of the window are aiming guns at them,
Yeah.
and that ain't Democrats."
Yeah. Well, I mean, and he incited that
Yeah.
situation. Oh God,
I'm
there's
just tired of it. I'm sick and tired of all the bullshit.
Gee, Tony just moved his camera so we get a better shot of the wallpaper.
You gotta charge my thing. I'll be right back.
You got what?
Beautiful thing.
I gotta help her give her a pill.
You have to go give her a couple of pills. Okay.
Tony, I'm with you, buddy.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't give her too many, otherwise.
Don't do it.
Don't give her too many pills, otherwise you're out of work. You don't have a job anymore.
That's right.
Yeah.
Colace.
Well, what I mean, I'm just sitting here. I'm waiting to see if Virginia, if George is coming through anytime soon, because it was getting so close. Every hour it was inching its way down.
I'll tell you, if it was me working those counting machines, I'd be going 1,
One. Here's 2.
2. Oops, this one's backwards. 3. You'll find out sometime next Wednesday, motherfucker.
Yeah. Well,
Somebody got a great shot of this. The exit
Wow.
something.
That's good.
Oh,
That's a good one.
Oh, that's a
Something
very
is
good one.
photoshopped. Yeah, I think it's regular. Yeah, it's pretty good.
You
Yeah,
think it
that
is photoshopped, or
Looks like a good shot.
Some
Some photographer was sitting there,
Wow, this thing's in the way.
Well, in a year where you say what can go wrong?
Oh,
What more can go wrong? This takes the cake. This is like our Christmas present, right?
Yeah.
And then right after this is over, we got to go back to the whole COVID thing because it's getting terrible. And I'm supposed to take Marjorie out to dinner tomorrow night for her birthday, which was the other day. And I'm scared to do it because we're going to be eating indoors. but I'll take my chances for her. I'm willing to die for her to have her birthday dinner.
What a guy.
But I don't know if I'm going to have this eye operation. I think I'm waiting a couple of weeks to see where the whole thing is going. But if it's getting worse and worse here in New York, I'm not doing it. You know, I can wait till next year. The doctor said, well, don't wait till next year because next year we may not be able to do elective surgery if it gets bad enough. And I'm saying to him, you know, I'll take my chances. You know, I can go with my eyes being a problem for a little while more, you know. But I don't want to have that operation, you know, deal. It's just, I don't know. I'm bothered by it. So,
Massachusetts just set up a new protocol for everybody who lives in Connecticut
what is that?
for keeping them healthier, which I assume some of it is just wash your hands and all that kind of stuff too.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be more demanding, and maybe they're going to start arresting people if you're not.
Well,
wearing
all I'm saying is, I'll tell you what happened here in New York. Our governor, who I really think has done a bang-up job, suddenly has gone to this micro-cluster philosophy. We'll find the micro-clusters and we'll put out the fires there. It doesn't seem to be working, you know. The microclusters are doing okay. The rest of the state is getting bad. And I think it's time that he starts saying, look, you people got to put on your masks. I'm closing down indoor dining. I'm shutting it all down again because you people are just getting too loosey-goosey with this, and look what's happening. But I think he's afraid to do that now because he let people start opening up businesses again.
Yeah.
And
because those micro clusters, I mean, that's just, I mean, is it where the people live? Is it where they work? Is it where they're going out and hanging out with their party friends?
If they find
that's what's spreading everything.
If it's a neighborhood where it flares up, they then clamp down on that neighborhood. Okay.
Sure, but then before that, they were going somewhere to work.
But it doesn't. No, you're correct. That doesn't mean those people in that microcluster aren't going to go outside the microcluster to have dinner.
Exactly.
You know, so I mean, I think really what we got to do is bite the big bullet, close everything down, and strangle this virus, because that's what you got to do. It's the only answer. Anybody disagree with me on that?
No.
You know.
No.
And they know what to do before in March when we stopped everything, when the kids weren't going to go to school for a couple of weeks and then they had another week off. We still weren't doing the mask thing, and there wasn't a lot of serious stuff. At least right now, if they do stop that, they have a serious protocol to follow.
I'll tell you, I did something the other day that afterwards I thought, why did I do that? I was asking to get killed. I was walking down the street with Marjorie, and I was just irritated. I had just come back from that eye doctor, and the whole thing bothered me. And I was just not in a great mood, and we're walking back to the apartment. And I walked past two guys not wearing masks. And I just looked over at them and yelled, "Wear a goddamn mask." And they just kept talking to each other. They didn't care. But I took the chance of getting killed.
Yeah, pretty much these days.
But I mean, every time I see these people, I'm going, do you know that it's going up again? Do you know why? Because of you.
Here it is Thursday, and something like 8 college football games have been canceled for Saturday already, including Army against Air Force, because there's COVID galore at the Air Force Academy. You start hearing things like that, you wonder, like, Jesus, it's
all of this can be stopped and nipped in the bud if we just all wear masks, wash our hands, and there's one other thing you got to do. I can't remember now. But
social
get
distance.
rid of the president.
6 feet apart.
6 feet apart, social distancing. And especially wear a mask if you can't social distance. I mean, the reason why everybody should wear a mask is we can't social distance, especially in New York City. I get into an elevator, somebody else gets into the elevator. I'm sorry, I can't social distance. You know?
Yeah, I've been back at the gym, and the last 10, 12 days, I think, in a row, I've been doing elliptical for 30 minutes with the mask on. And it's a pain.
It's
a
terrible.
pain.
Look,
it's
nobody.
very hard.
Look, I
Got to do it.
I sympathize with anybody who says to me, I can't stand wearing a mask. Because I can't stand wearing a mask.
Nor can
I couldn't stand wearing a condom, okay?
Over your head?
Over
Where
my
were you
head.
wearing it?
Wrong head.
It doesn't go there, Alex.
Yeah.
That head.
But, I mean, I don't like wearing it. When I go for a walk, it makes me breathe heavier. I have a harder time breathing, you know, and so on. But
And with glasses, it's bad.
yeah. Oh, and they fog up too. Although I
Yeah.
found some masks
Oh,
now
yeah.
that you can buy that stop it from fogging up. It's got a second little thing up here that prevents it from fogging up your glasses. But you know, I don't like wearing it, but you got to do it. You know, and you want to stop wearing a mask? Well, maybe if everybody wore a mask for a while, we could stop wearing a mask because the COVID would be strangled, basically. But everybody's got to do it. It can't be, oh, I do it, but you don't because you don't like them. Fuck you. You know, you're killing me. You know, you have no respect for me if you're not wearing a mask. And I just don't understand it. Now we have 120,000 people in one day.
In one day.
In one day. We had 1,100 people die just a few days ago. In one day. Okay? Isn't that saying something to the American public? I don't want to wear a mask. My constitutional right not to wear a mask. No, it's not. Nothing in the Constitution. It doesn't. You know, I mean, we're doing this for the betterment of the American public.
Yeah.
Okay? And for all the people here who are older and in a high-risk group, okay, which would be most of you
Anybody
guys
you
here.
think of?
Except, well,
Yeah.
Brian is about the only one, and Tony are the only two that probably are not in high-risk groups.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we love you guys, so we don't want anything to happen to you.
Exactly. And you don't want to bring it home to your kids.
Oh, exactly. Or my kids give it to me. Jeez.
Yeah,
Well, you
right.
send them, you know, and the sending them to school is not the greatest idea in the world because, you know, as we all know, kids are little petri dishes.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah, they're trying to
But,
get
you
them
know,
back.
I find
Go
my
ahead,
my grandkids
Yeah.
are pretty serious about the whole thing.
Really. Good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're. Your kids pretty serious about it?
Yeah. When we go out, they understand.
Yeah.
And then they're trying to get them back in January,
Yeah.
the beginning of January.
the only
But our area is pretty good.
Yeah.
So they're going to take the data. They're following the data, and they said if it's this way or worse, then this way or better, then they'll go back on the 4th. And they look every Tuesday for the data. That's when the data comes out for Santa Clara County.
Now I
And
know
make it-
I know why Adrian doesn't like wearing a mask. She can't do this.
Yeah. So, but they're good at it, and they know. And then they've gone to work with me, so they know why it's going on and why our work's so important. So it's good.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just this thing need not have gotten as out of hand as it has, and it's because I got to say this because the president didn't set an example. You know,
Exactly.
I mean, he's going around saying, "Oh, there's no, you know, COVID will be gone right after the election." Well, here we are, 120,000, highest
Easter.
yet, huh?
Easter.
Maybe
Remember
the
Easter?
numbers will go.
Yeah.
Maybe the numbers will go down a smidge just because there are no more fucking
Well-
Trump rallies.
Well, no, maybe his
yeah.
idea this year where he said he was doing it right, that he was doing it that it would be gone by Easter.
Yeah. Easter.
Well, he didn't say which Easter.
Rich East.
He didn't say which Easter.
Yeah.
You know, But he set a very bad example. I mean, if he wore a mask and said, "Look, I'm wearing a mask. You should wear a mask too. This is important. This is the way we take care of it." If he let Fauci run the whole thing and just said, "Look, I don't know about this. I don't know how to handle this," but he wasn't willing to admit he didn't know everything. Because he's what kind of genius is he? A
Stable genius.
Stable genius. Yeah. Yeah.
Herd mentality.
Well, wait a minute. In his case, stable genius means he's good with horses.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's very healthy, but
Come on, Georgia. Let's see some numbers here.
I know.
This is torturous.
Let's get this over with. Let's get it done with. I mean, everybody. I don't know how many of you are watching the various networks, but the networks I watch, which CNN, and I watch MSNBC, and I watch NBC and CBS and so on. They all seem to think that Biden's getting this. It's just a matter of time. You know, but let's get it over with. Yeah. Because I want to get to the second part of this show, which is Trump moaning and groaning and refusing to leave. Do you think he's going to go to the inauguration?
No.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Wow. That would be the first time in history, wouldn't it?
Hey, Alex, at the inauguration, doesn't he have to be there, Trump?
No, he doesn't have to be there.
Oh, like the crossing of the power over. I was hoping.
No, but you go because that's what you do.
The right thing to do.
That's the right thing to do. It's like saying thank you after somebody does something nice for you. It's that kind of thing. It's just, it's good form. But I'll bet you he won't show up for the inauguration.
But we want him there because I want a lot of people there so Biden can go over to him and say, you know what? Mine looks like a lot more people than yours. Just saying.
I'd love to go to the correspondence dinner if Biden wins next year. Geez, they're going to all rip Trump like crazy.
Well, they won't be able to hold it because we'll have COVID.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we got screwed all the way around by this guy.
Man.
So what is, if Biden wins, how fast do you think he can actually start affecting change here? Do you think he can do it before the election, before the inauguration?
He had a conference already on COVID the other day.
Yeah.
He's doing
He has no power to do anything until January 20th.
Yeah, but
he can start influencing.
And he can start talking to the people and wearing a mask and saying, this is what you should do. And, if I were him, I got in office, you want to write some executive orders? I think there should be an executive order about mandating that everybody in America wear a mask.
And for heaven's sakes, let's start by picking a Secretary of Education who's actually been in a public school.
Yes.
Let's pick a Secretary of Energy that knows how to plug in a fucking lamp.
How about a head of the COVID task force that isn't an osteopath?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Trump. Imagine the secretary comes in the office. President France is on the phone. Oh, they want to speak to me? No, they don't want to speak to you. They want to speak to Biden. Do you have his phone number?
Yeah.
Alex, he's going to take losing that power, like you said, bad. I think.
Oh well. The first thing he's going to do, and he's setting that. You can tell what he's going to do because he sets everything up ahead of time. It's not.
Oh, sure.
It's not like he keeps it a big secret. His whole hating of Fox now.
Oh yeah, you're right.
You know why he hates Fox? Because he's going to start the Trump News Network.
When does that start? You think?
About the day after he gets out of office.
Yeah.
The Trump family bought into OAN.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that will just simply be. He'll probably name it the Trump Network. I bet it has a gold-plated logo.
A toilet bowl.
Huh?
Of a toilet bowl where good news goes down the toilet.
Yeah, right. But, and it'll go bankrupt, by the way.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because what does he know about running a network?
No.
Yeah, he doesn't run anything right now.
Well, I mean, he didn't know anything about running casinos, did he?
Yeah,
You're right.
listen,
By time there.
And to me,
get
running
the
a
general idea that a casino is like a money-making machine.
Yeah.
You know, like, do you get the
The
idea?
only guy
Of
who
get the hell out of the way.
Yeah. How do you
How can you
lose?
lose money at a casino?
Yeah.
Making that.
The only way you can lose money in a casino is if you're the customer.
If you're the customer. Yeah.
Yes, right. You know, I mean, what? The casinos were just
Money makers.
just churned out money, you know. And
You know what it was? Trump thought he was going to make money on the food and not the fucking gambling. We'll just pump up the prices for the corned beef sandwich, but everybody hit a jackpot on the way out.
This isn't hard.
didn't he ever hear that you give the food away for free? You know, you give it away for 99 cents
Yeah.
so that you get people in to gamble.
That's the way Las Vegas used to be. Is it still that way?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sure. I mean, I don't know. Most of those places are closed right now, but they have the buffets.
Yeah.
You know, best buffet I ever had was at the Mirage.
Ooh, I had
That
a
was
Yeah.
a great buffet, right? Am I right?
Yes. Very famous.
I mean, you go there and you
Yeah.
go, this is good food. This isn't like the kind of stuff you get at a buffet, which is all just like starches and fattening stuff. I mean, there was shrimp and there was this and that. No, and it was $15, I think. But that got you into the Mirage. And then when you were through eating, where did you go? Well, you couldn't get out of that restaurant without going through the
There
casino.
was no exit.
And by the way, you had to find the exit because
You're right. It's hard to find an exit with those. You're right with the rugs. When my brother used to
the
take
rugs are meant to disorient you, right? Am I
I
right,
couldn't
Robert?
find the exit to the street one time. I said, "How do you get out of here?" He says, "What are you, stupid?" And I couldn't. I was getting confused which way to go.
Well, no. The thing is, also you don't have any windows or windows on the doors.
Or
They don't
clocks.
or clocks.
Or
They don't have
clocks,
clocks.
yeah.
They don't have daylight in there, so that you have no idea what time it is or what time of day it is, and you get lost in this thing. You know. Oh man, I'm missing that. You know, I could stand a good Mirage buffet right now. You know.
My brother used to take me there once in a while with him. I was out there for a couple of. I was out there when Tupac got killed. He took me out there for the weekend.
Yeah.
We were out there. It was a big boxing match. We left one of the casinos watching football, and all I saw was pandemonium on the streets. I said, "What the hell happened?" Tupac got shot. I said, "Get the hell out of here!" I said, "Yeah." They had everything blocked off. I was actually afraid because that Friday night we landed, Alex.
Yeah.
It was a lot of like bad elements. I hate to say it, like there was like a lot of fighting going on in the casinos because when the boxing comes in,
Yeah.
they start the money's flying. I don't know one thing. I was out there once for the Golden Boy, what's Oxa de la Hoya,
Yeah.
and we watched the fight. I don't bet on anything, and they came out of the fight. The people, they were throwing chairs around because they were yelling "Fix." De la Hoya didn't throw a punch. I remember that one. I was like, "Holy shit, they're crazy."
Yeah.
She voted with me. She voted with me the other night.
Oh.
Did you vote with Daddy? Yeah. Who did we vote for? The blue or the red? Which one? Blue.
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 Break him in early.
She kept watching. She watches. Oh, blue's leading. Right? The blue's good, huh? Is red? Red, he's bad.
Red's bad. Blue's good. What's she eating? What is that?
Chum chum. Chum chum.
Huh?
Yeah, it's like this fuzzy thing, and then it has the stuff inside with
By
the
the way, you are buying a baseball bat, aren't you, for all the guys that come to try and date her when she gets older?
Gun.
Check my Facebook page. She has all the dancing on there from tonight.
Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah.
Hey, well, listen, that's it. Hopefully tomorrow we'll have some kind of idea who the president is.
Saturday.
You say Saturday? Okay. I'm saying tomorrow midday. Okay? That's just my hopeful thing. Anyway, Jeff, thank you. Thank you, Charlie. Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Brian and Adrian. And thank you, Tony. And thank you, Kevin. Great having you all here. If you'd all give a big wave goodbye, I'll wave goodbye at you. Aren't you going to wave? Yeah, there she goes. All right. And that's our citizen panel for tonight. thank them all for joining us and really doing a great job tonight. Well, we will see tomorrow. There should be maybe some kind of solution to all of this. In the meantime, I'm getting out of here. Yeah. Jack Bishop is next with The Intersection. He's going to take calls on Skype at Gabnet Live. I'll see you tomorrow night, 10:30. Same time, same station in life. And in the meantime, if you see her, tell her I love her. And by the way, be safe out there and wear a mask. Good night, everybody.